Hello, all. This week we'll be discussing the new Bob Odenkirk movie, Nobody 2. We'll also be having a chat about some trailers and some casting news and stuff like that. So stick with us for this week's Middle Age Geeks. So, hello, all. My name is Phil. I'm one of your hosts, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Daz. Daz, what's the crack?
Good, man. Good. Yeah, just kind of loving the new turn into autumn Irish weather where it's like 19, 20 degrees and sunny, and then it goes up to 21 degrees and starts raining, and you're drenched and sweating at the same time. Fucking brilliant. How are things with you?
Yeah, good, man. Yeah, pretty good. I've got a week off coming up, so I can finally build my whatchamacallit, Soundwave Transformers Lego.
Oh,
Yes.
that's so good.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm a middle-aged man. I cannot wait to get stuck into that. So I got a nice chill week planned.
Deadly.
For those of you new to the show, we're just gonna primarily do a big movie discussion slash review. Spoiler free at the start with some spoilers then, but we give you a warning. But before that, we're gonna jump into some news that's jumped out of us this week, and then maybe have a quick chat about what we've been playing and watching. So that's on that news front. What has jumped out at you this week?
A lot of new trailers actually, which is always good. Ballad of a Small Player. It's a movie that I didn't even know was a thing. Directed by Edward Berger, who's recently did Conclave, and this looks fantastic. Sarah, it's Colin Farrell and Tilda Swinton, and it's a very little dialogue in the trailer. It's very kind of a mood piece and showcase piece. Colin Farrell plays like a guy who's seemingly spends his days gambling on casino floors, drinking heavily, and gambling what little money he has left. Yeah, no dialogue, but just a lot of Colin Farrell looking fucking badass and disheveled in equal measure. Looks really, really good. Yeah. What else was there? There was Fallout 2. The new trailer came out, which just looks absolutely fantastic.
And doesn't it look like we're getting a lot more from the end of times, kind of like the actual collapse of society? It looks like there's going to be a lot more of that. Like, obviously, we got some of it, a lot of it related to Walton Goggins and stuff in the first season. But there's loads in this. Like, I'm seeing anything with Justin Theroux, and I'm like, yes.
Oh, it's so good. Like that dual kind of narrative worked really well in the first one. Delighted to see that, and to see New Vegas, it just looks fucking class. So December 17th, it's coming out. So that's just perfect binging over Christmas. Then there was a new Daniel Day-Lewis is coming out of retirement after 8 years, and the trailer for the new movie Anemone.
It's where Nemo lives. That's how
the fuck. Oh, that's brilliant. Anemone. Yeah, and directed by his son. And I was like, oh, sweet. So I sat down to watch it. And I've never been so excited for a movie and then so underwhelmed within 2 minutes. It's great to have him back and him playing alongside Sean Bean. But the trailer just kind of falls a little flat. Hopefully it's just a marketing editing thing. It'll probably, obviously everyone's going to try and see Daniel Day-Lewis on screen. But yeah, did you check that out? Did you?
I did, and I felt that as if they were kind of pitching it as a very, I don't know, a horror movie or something along those lines. I had that feel, but at the same time, I don't see Daniel Day-Lewis doing a full horror movie. But then if he's doing it as a, for his son, who knows? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know enough about it to really comment because I don't know the background on the movie. But the trailer was okay. It was just exciting to see the two of them, to be honest. And Sean Bean in the same movie was good. But no, I couldn't comment. Maybe some of our listeners who have been following the story might be able to fill us in. But yeah.
And then last bit was Zack Snyder has a new movie, and it's not a Rebel Moon new movie. His whole planned double trilogy of the Rebel Moon saga has obviously fallen to pieces because they were a travesty. But his new movie is called The Last Photograph, which kind of has an interesting-ish premise where it's an ex-DEA agent is like searching the South African mountains or something for like some diplomats' children. And he's aided by, and they quote, a junkie photographer who last saw the killers through his camera or some shite. But then it's like, but then this guy has to confront past demons as reality blurs in the remote wilderness. And you're like, Zack Snyder, that could be interesting. He's still, as much as we fucking tore him to pieces visually, he's an excellent director, but then you always check IMDb who wrote it, and just like Zack Snyder, bollocks. So close. He's got writing credit with someone else on it, and Yeah, so yeah, watch this space. But that's pretty much it. How about yourself? Any other news?
A couple of bits, like there was did you see the Nintendo Direct when it came for the Kirby Air Riders?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like it looks cool, but it's just I would have thought like we got our second first party game after Mario Kart was Donkey Kong Bonanza, and it's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Just to have it another first party one, with Kirby, and for it to be, I know it's not the same as Mario Kart, but it's very similar. Like it is still a lot. It is still involving a lot of racing, picking your driver and car and all this kind of stuff. It's very very similar kind of vibe. Your Nintendo graphics, all that stuff. It really bothers me that it's not Metroid. It wasn't the next game. Like it's bizarre to me that they haven't released Metroid yet, or even given us a release date. Just that it's this year. I just would have thought that the next big game they release wouldn't be that after we've already got Mario close. Just in June.
And the guy, I can't remember the guy's name, the guy doing the direct, I think the game director, even mentions that. He kind of goes, look, this is kind of like Mario Kart, because it's very similar to Mario Kart. And you're like, okay. And
he didn't even seem interested. He's like, I didn't want to make this game. I really didn't enjoy this.
Yeah, I've been dragged back to make this game. And it looks like it starts off, and the direct is it's very kind of kid-friendly kind of game where you don't have to press accelerate. It's just like moving around. But then it does go absolutely batshit crazy towards the latter end when you get all the special moves and power-ups and all this fucking stuff. But yeah, it is a bit similar. I don't want another racing game. Not just yet, anyway. But actually, yeah, speaking of just games, just completely forgot that. Did you see Gamescom was on last week?
Last weekend, yeah.
Germany, like in Jeff Keighley's other game show, and it's like after Summer Game Fest, starting the summer, and then you have the Video Game Awards in December, which is the showpiece event, whatever. This just gets stuck in the middle, and he's trying to hype it up with all these reveals and stuff, and you're saying like everyone is going to save their reveals for the Game Awards in December. So here, you get like new gameplay for like Resident Evil 9 Requiem, but it's not really much to go on. It's just like a sequence with Grace, and she's run down a hall and chatting to her mother, and it's kind of nothing there. There's like, we got Silent Hill F, kind of a trailer, a tiny bit of gameplay, and just a lot of games like Ghost of Yotai. We get just more little bit of gameplay, and there's nothing really, no showcase stuff. Some Black Ops 7, and then like Hollow Knight Silksong was a release date for that, and that was the main thing that people were going crazy about. But yeah, just very underwhelming. Like I skipped through I watched it on a stream afterwards, and you just like I think it's like an hour and a half long, and just skipped through in about 20 minutes because it's just like it's a lot of stuff just kind of falls flat, and it's unfortunate that the show is just in the middle of two more showcase shows.
I do think we should go though some year, because like I was even looking at it this year, right up to it. Pretty much, you could still buy tickets to go to it, and there's still like there's a lot of
play some
industry
games
people there, and go and play some games and stuff. So let's look into it. Next year maybe.
Absolutely.
The only couple things I had was firstly, Super Troopers 3 has started filming. I don't know if you watched the second one. Did you watch the second one? No,
I don't think so.
And stuff in it. It's okay, but it's the first one. I absolutely love the first one. The first one is just fucking brilliant, so quotable, and it's just. Yeah, it's fantastic. So hopefully the third one is decent. And then the last bit is casting news, which is Karen Gillan getting added to the cast of Highlander. Yeah, it's like she's playing Henry Cavill's wife in it. Brilliant. I loved her tweet. That tweet that I sent on to you. She just said, "My dialect coach can sit this one out," which is great. Like, I know this is going to be one that I end up watching like over and over for years, just because of, I love the cast. Director's great. I know it's going to be awesome fucking action scenes, and I love the fucking lore, everything about it. Like, so I just know, even if it ends up being crap, it's one of the ones that I'll probably end up watching like a bunch of fucking times. But yeah, you excited for that one? Yeah.
Oh yeah, can't wait. It's been so long in the making. And it just means we can move on to a new Highlander movie, and we'll probably have to watch we've done the second movie, maybe we'll watch the TV show in the run up to that.
No, just for I actually remember watching. I've actually watched a good few episodes of that back when it came out, the one with Adrian Paul.
Oh, wow, no, I never saw it.
Nah, not worth it.
Is it pants?
Yeah. So with the news section out of the way, let's jump on to what we've been playing and watching. So Daz, what have you been playing and watching the last week?
I finally finished Donkey Kong after about 10 months of trying. It's great, yeah, and you're right. The end game, just straight away, you're just like, oh, I've got another fucking 10 hours plus to get through this. That was really good. But yeah, playing wise, I got recommended a game, Sword of the Sea, from a friend of the show, Damien Allen. He said he just asked that I check it out, that it is on PlayStation Plus, and he said just turn on, play, don't look into it or whatever. And yeah, it's fucking weird. Do you remember the Journey? Remember the game Journey?
Yeah.
Where you just kind of like one of those excellent, just pick up and play, and you just go off on this crazy journey. And this one, Sword of the Sea, it's kind of like an atmospheric adventure game with fast kind of movement inspired by classic like skateboarding and snowboarding games. Like it's kind of surfing, snowboarding, skateboarding, but it's like in
Right.
an ancient alien world where like the sand is kind of water, so you're kind of going over the sand and it's just like waves, and
What did you say it was
you're
called?
Sword of the Sea. Yeah,
Seen that?
it's just weird. I think I remember seeing a trailer for it years ago, or like maybe a few years ago, one of those award show things.
Yeah.
But the visuals are astounding, like beautiful, almost kind of cell shaded art style with kind of weird, trippy kind of graphics, and the fact that the land is a sand ocean moving like waves. You're basically a kind of a knight that has a sword at the start, and that's how it starts. You're just a sword with a knight, and he just walks out of this cave, jumps on his sword, and starts just surfing around on his sword. And it's just one of those where it just throws you into it, just wild. And before you know it, it's like 2 hours gone by, and you don't know what's going on, but you're just trying to bring water to this world, and it's all this kind of really groovy and silky kind of traversal. It's not too hard. It's just surfing and snowboarding waves of sand on a
Cool.
knight's sword. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, after a few hours of it, you just turn it off because it's just kind of too trippy, and you just like days could go by. That's kind of all I've been playing. Watching wise, kind of little to nothing. I still haven't finished episode 2 of Alien Earth. Just so bad. Like I just cannot get TV stuff going at the moment at all. And yeah, I watched Nobody One in preparation for this movie, but I watched the first half of that movie, then watched Nobody 2, and then watched the second half of Nobody, which is probably not the way to do it, because Nobody 2, it's unfortunate that it's sandwiched in the middle of a much better movie. How about you? What have you been watching, playing?
Well, my Metroidvania thing continues. I've moved on now to Metroid: Samus Returns, 3DS,
Nice.
DS, 3DS game. Yeah, I ended up picking up a 3DS in the end. I just traded in some shit that I wasn't really playing in ages,
Wicked.
and ended up picking it up. And then it wasn't me, but somebody broke into my house and hacked the 3DS. So now,
Shit.
now there's a load of free games on it that I didn't pay for. It's disgraceful, and I find
Ah,
them. I'm gonna have them
I hate when
arrested.
that happens.
I hate
Just
when
hate when that happens.
So I've been playing Samus Returns. I started A Link to the Past, A Link Between Worlds, and also Majora's Mask. So
Nice.
I've got it. So that'll be. This is gonna be the end of me now. I'll be trying to get shit done during my week off. I'll just be glued to fucking Majora's Mask. I know it. But the football's back, So for in general, my kind of content viewing goes down quite a lot when the football's back, because that's all I want to watch. But anyway, look, that's it for that section out of the way. Let's move on then to our main event, which is our discussion around the new movie Nobody 2, which just came out last week. And Daz is going to take us through that. So, Daz, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Super duper. Yeah, Nobody 2 is the follow-up to the much-loved first outing from 2021, directed by Timo, and I'll try to get his name right, Tajanto. We'll just call him Timo from now on. Starring Bob Odenkirk, Connie Nielsen, Colin Hanks, Christopher Lloyd, and Sharon fucking Stone. More on that later. The basic plot synopsis is Odenkirk obviously plays the workaholic assassin Hutch Mansell, who previously was unable to escape his violent past, now takes his family on a much-needed vacation to like a tourist town, Plummerville. However, he soon runs into a bad boy, an evil and shady sheriff, a corrupt theme park operator, and a bloodthirsty, crazy lunatic crime boss. As Phil said earlier, we won't get into spoilers until a little bit later. There's not really much to spoil in this movie. First, our spoiler-free thoughts. And Philly, what did you think coming out of this movie?
Well, I was such a big fan of the first one. I was quite let down by this one. It's so different. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, great, it's Odenkirk and stuff in it, but it doesn't capture that proper magic of the first one at all. And that some of the dialogue in this second movie is absolutely appalling. And it's not just given to like one person, like Sharon Stone being batshit and stuff like. Connie Nielsen gets some fucking shocking lines. So does the Reza is in it as well. He gets some fucking shocking lines. That they just the dialogue in it is appalling. I don't know what they were trying to do with Colin Hanks' character. Who was it idea to shave off the whole side of both of his heads? It just reminded me of that Simpsons episode, when he's like, when he's like, oh, just shave off those sideburns. It's just, why is he missing? It just looks fucking insane. I don't know what they were trying to do with some of these characters or what the plan was, but it's not a patch on the first movie. Like the action scenes are great. Bob Odenkirk is just so charismatic and so fun that you enjoy it. Some of the action is fucking awesome. There's some great hand-to-hand, some great kills. Like that side of it is fun, and there's some great actors in this. But it's just the story is just shocking. And so I'm not saying the first one isn't outlandish or over the top, but this is ridiculous. Like Sharon Stone is basically like this weird super villain kind of thing. It's just it's bizarre. It really is. I don't know. What about you, Daz? What did you think?
Oh, I loved this. No, yeah, I went in. I didn't really know what to expect, and I guess like it's objectively speaking, it's a fun movie. It's quite enjoyable at times. It's obviously nowhere near the heights of the first movie, but Odenkirk is, he kind of carries the movie. Like he's so magnetic on screen. Like he's an extremely watchable actor. He just does that everyman thing so well. Like the first movie, he's very believable as that assassin type kind of family man with struggles and all that. Same with Connie Nielsen. I mean, she has some absolute dog shit to work with, but she oozes kind of a steely charisma on screen. Like she's a very interesting and lovely actress, obviously, to look at. Colin Hanks, like I really enjoyed his performance. His character is like, it's bonkers and it's ridiculous. Like his introduction in this movie, he's just introduced and he's straight away just like giving fucking Odenkirk's character shit and this overtly fucking bad guy sheriff. And it's like, why are you acting like that? Why have you not gone to a barber? It's just very, very strange. I thought it was funny at times, but most of the humor comes from Sharon Stone, like inadvertently, and I could not stop laughing when she's on screen, especially in the last. Like she has an interesting first. Like I didn't know she was in the movie at all, but when she first comes on screen in the casino scene, I was like, "Who is that?" And it's like, "Oh, Sharon Stone, no way!" And that first like 2 minutes is kind of okay. It's just like, oh, this could be good. And it just, she doesn't know what fucking movie she's in. Most of the people don't know what movie she's in. She's just like, she's utterly ridiculous performance. Like it's just that kind of dialing that craziness up to 11. It's just like, be crazy, but with no, she's just completely ridiculous and unbelievable character. And I'll get into her a little bit later. But yeah, it was just a bit of a shame in the end of it, because like the action set pieces are good and the final battle goes full like A-Team versus Home Alone with a load of violence and blood. It's just silly and stupid, but that's the main thing. Like the tone and vibe is completely different to the first movie. Like really, I know it's different directors and all that, but a lot of this comes across as like a National Lampoon's Vacation with a lot of blood and guts and kind of action set pieces, and it's just, some of it is quite slapstick. And, like they have to change up the formula and stuff, but it just, they sit together as, first and second movies in a franchise. But this one is, it's weird to say lacking depth, but like, you're not really going to this movie for that. But there's no character arcs in this movie at all. Connie Nielsen is against Bobo, against her husband, not being there as the family man, and, he's taken over by his work. And she's like at one point about to, text him, we need to talk, and it's like really on the ropes. And she's really has issues with him until suddenly she doesn't. There's no development to it. But yeah, I just thought it was a bit of a letdown. Still enjoyed it, but
yeah, like I just think
forgettable movie.
Yeah, I stand by the fact it definitely let down because of how much I enjoyed the first one. But I do agree with the performances. Like I don't know what they were doing with some of the characters in it. Like what was the, like you said about Colin Hanks. He's not going to put in a bad performance. He's a great actor, but it's just like, what are you trying to do with the character? If this is supposedly something they're all trying to keep under wraps, then why wouldn't he be super covert? Why is he going out of his way to hassle this person? Why is he being an absolute dickhead to people? Like he's just, these people stand out so much. I don't think that they really would. Anybody would behave like that, or this operation that they've got going on wouldn't have been stopped like fucking a billion times already if this is how you fucking carry on, how you do business. It's
Mm,
so, and how is nobody else noticing? Like they're on. You see some of the trailer on that kind of when they're on the boat, and like you said, it's a slapstick thing. It's where the other people on the boat have say headphones on, but they're only little
mm,
light fucking headphones you listen to when you're on to listen to a tour guide kind of thing. But they can't hear the absolute carnage that goes on, or they can't
yeah.
feel it. Like they're on the sitting in the same boat. How
And
could you not feel five guys having a big fucking full on mill up, smashing shit around? They're just like,
but why is it's like the couple of henchmen, but also a guy like a deputy sheriff or something in uniform. Why have they all turned up to murder this guy on a tourist sightseeing boat? Just like what? It's because the plot needs to happen. It's just bizarre. That's the slapstick nature of it. Because like these movies, and not so much taken seriously, but like the first movie does, it's quite believable. But especially the start, and when he's struggling with his 9 to 5, and that stuck in that world, and his violent past coming back to haunt him and stuff. But even the action set pieces in the first movie, like the bus sequence, obviously the standout, but that works because it's over the top and crazy, but it's still just it's never slapstick. It's crazy because he keeps getting up and keeps fighting them. But in this, it's kind of like cartoonish. It's played for kind of almost laughs instead of shock. It's kind of like, look how crazy this fight is on the boat. It's like this, but this is silly. You know what I mean? Some of the cool stuff falls flat because the silly nature of it, and most of it. That was my comment most of the time, just watching it, just literally going, just saying out loud, that's silly. Like this is, I don't know why this is this being played for laughs, or did someone think like this is really cool? Like Sharon Stone, when she's delivering some of those lines towards the end, it's just like, come on, like really, really,
she's
yeah,
almost like that drunk. Comes across almost like that drunk person, guy or girl at a party that everybody finds really, really annoying, who's just being so loud and over the top. That kind of person is like, oh, just shut the fuck up. Just, yeah, I'm rooting for her to get killed from the fuck pretty much the moment you saw her. Like, I thought she was going to be this mad, mysterious kind of character. Because that's the way you kind of see it at the start. It's like, oh, cool. You see her from behind. She's got like almost like a code, just the one name, kind of code name and shit. I was like, okay,
mm.
she's going to be this cool, badass kind of thing. But no, she's just this fucking lunatic, fucking dancing and all this other shit. Yeah, I just
Dancing, yeah, it's everything that she's trying to do just falls flat, and that's obviously from a director's point of view. She's been directed to do this performance, and you can imagine on if you get a role like this and you see on the page, even though it's kind of fucking silly or whatever, it must be brilliant as a female actress to go, oh cool, I get to play the crazy fucking evil boss or villain, a female villain. And like I kept thinking of, who's it, Lena Headey in Dread when she
oh
played
yeah.
Mama, and that kind of crazy lunacy, and that role works because when it's a female villain or female mob boss or something like that, it's less about the physicality or their imposing nature. It's more about can they believably be so much of a psycho that people would be terrified of you.
Reputation
And
alone, yeah.
yeah, in Dread, that Mama character is terrifying, but here you're just looking at her and you're just going, she's just kind of, it's like someone going, look at me, I'm batshit crazy, right? Look, I'm so crazy, look at me. And then she does this stupid dancing, and it's just, yeah, just the line
Yeah.
delivery and everything, it's just like, just shockingly poor. It's like cheesy and campy, just over the top and in every wrong way possible.
What about John Ortiz? Like, I felt bad for him because I thought that he was going to be that guy, that main bad guy. Because you see him, I don't want to go into any spoilers just yet, obviously. Like, his character makes no fucking sense because at the start, it's like, okay, he is, super bad guy. The road that they could have gone down with this is not to have Sharon Stone in it at all, and just keep it contained in this small town yoke and have him this. It was just weird. His arc was bizarre, if you want to call it that, but if you want to call it an
Yeah.
arc. But it was just, yeah, I don't know. I think you could have made a much more interesting movie by cutting Sharon Stone's whole part out of it.
Mm. Yeah, because like when the whole Colin Hanks thing kind of worked as a character, if his first introduction where he was the nice kind of sheriff, and it's like, I'm the sheriff of this town, but you get that looming notion that like he's hiding something or there's something mysterious happening. but everyone's cards are played straight off. It's just like, hi, I'm a bad sheriff. Hi, I'm an evil, fucking fairground owner. And it's like that. Yeah, that would have been interesting. But then it's like, oh, Colin Hanks is the bad. Oh no, he's got a boss. He's the bad. Oh no, they've got another boss that's fucking Sharon Stone. She's the bad. And it's like, oh, come on.
But they're all
Yeah.
assholes. Like everybody he meets, it's not like the guy who runs the what's it called, amusement park thing, like the arcade where you see it in the trailer. Someone clips his daughter on the back of the head, and then a fight breaks out in the arcade. That owner guy, he's a dickhead. Like everybody is in there, and just if you're part of some operation, surely you'd want to go under the radar and not be over the top pricks to absolutely everybody. But they just are. Everybody's an absolute bellend in this fucking town.
It's just played like an old 80s TV show. This is our town. Get the hell out of here. And there is a point where you're kind of going, why didn't Hutch and the family? Why didn't they just leave? Like it's obviously not going well. Just leave this fucking place. These guys are obviously fucking assholes. But
yeah, and not just that. Like his, I'll wait for the spoiler section actually to mention the next part of why that also doesn't make sense. Performance wise, I can't really say that anybody put in bad performances per se. It's just that the writing and the dialogue is absolutely appalling. Some of the stuff they have to say, like the Connie Nielsen, God, cover like not even just the emotional stuff, but even the stuff where she's trying to be tough. Don't mess with a mama bear or something like that. It's like, oh my God, like it just doesn't fit at all. And especially this is a sequel. Like if this was a movie standout on its own, which I know on a certain degree we should be judging it on its own merits alone. But it is the second part of a movie. It is called Nobody 2. So you kind of has a, what's the word I'm looking for? Responsibility to carry on or to add on to the first one, to live up to something, to stick with what we got from the first one. You have a certain responsibility there to not go completely batshit. And this just, it's not the same as what we saw from those characters in the first movie. And that really bugged me. I know I'm really ragging on it. It's not as bad as I'm saying it is. I think I was just went in so disappointed because when I heard there was a sequel, after how much I enjoyed the first one, I was excited for something better, a lot better than this.
Yeah, it's just because the first movie takes that kind of formula of the guy with the violent past catching up with him and all that, but like they don't have to be Oscar-worthy screenplays, but it's still, you can deliver. It's the same when you talk about kids' movies and people go, oh, it's a shit movie, and go, well, it's a kids' movie, and it doesn't have to be shit. Like bad writing is bad writing, and here it's like the action set pieces, which we'll get into, kind of hold it together, and the performances hold it together. But like, I couldn't get over some of the choices writing wise. Like this, it's at one point where a character says like, "Don't bring a machete to a motherfucking katana fight." When you're going, that's the movie that you're in here, and that was just very disappointing. But like, let's talk about the action set pieces in general. Like, I liked the way it kind of, where both movies start off the same in an interrogation room, and this time he's got a dog beside him. You're just like, oh, what? How the fuck is that going to play out? It takes ages for that to play out, by the way, and doesn't really play out as interesting as you would think. Just like, oh, is he going to fucking have a fight scene with a dog? But like this nice kind of montage. Like there's a great opening, kind of one shot fight scene where you see him just beating the shit out of people, and it's like, that's very cool. And you get a couple of montages, and I always love a wide shot of somebody throwing a fucking machete across the ceiling
or anything,
or an axe or anything. It's just like, fuck yes, I just love that. And that was it's really great. And there's a good fight in a lift, and the use of one of the emergency phones just knock out somebody's teeth, which is just like, okay, yeah, it's pretty fucking gruesome. Like it starts really well. You're just like, all right, we're fucking here. But it's kind of the minute they go on the vacation, they're obviously involving the family a bit more this time around. Christopher Lloyd is in it. Doesn't really do anything until the end of the movie. Action set pieces, how would you rate it in terms of the first movie to this movie? Like,
I mean, I think I prefer the first one because it's a little bit more grounded and stuff like that. Like you see the big over the top action kind of scene where at the end of the first one, it's like you said, it's Home Alone stuff, but he's essentially making it with household objects. Like it's a place he works in. It's like a manufacturing plant, and he just, he's using that with the tools that he has there. Whereas in this one, fortuitously, it just so happens to be all this shit available to him. And it's written off so easily as why it's all there. It's just so throwaway. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw like that kind of part was kind of crap, but some of some of the hand to hand, some of the hand to hand close quarters combat choreography, I absolutely loved. Like the being on, as you said, from the start and that kind of montage, but also on the boat as well. Like there's just because they really lean into him getting the shit kicked out of him as well in both movies. Like, and that's it. Like he's really, because he's an older dude. Like, so they show him he's getting fucking knocked back and forward, but of course he's able to take it. But yeah, you see him he gets beaten. He might come out on top in the end, but he gets his ass kicked. He doesn't come out unscathed, and that's what I really, really enjoy. So I liked a lot of that stuff, a lot of the real close quarters stuff. Some really cool fucking bang bang headshots. There's just it's great. Like, and it is that kind of stuff is just fun to watch. And the people who are both doing the choreography and doing the practical effects and special effects, I think have done a fantastic job. Really, this is the difference between this being an absolute shit movie. Like, say, what was that one with a fucking Key
Love Hurts?
Yeah. Like something like that, where you're kind of going, okay, there's a couple of okay action, but most of it's not great. This was majority of that side of things. I thought was really well done. Like they did a great job on that. What about you?
Yeah. No, I liked it. It was more like the arcade sequence was my favorite because I didn't remember that from the trailer, but just when he's walking out and he's kind of going, okay, no, I'm not getting into a scuffle here, and the guy just flicks the back of his daughter's fucking head, and as a dad, I was just like, here we fucking go, and that was excellent, and it's just like he just plays that so well. He's just like, I'm sorry, you can't fucking stop it. He just has to. He knows he can do it, so he just can't stop himself. And that leads into actually some funny moments when they're in the after that arcade scuffle and they're in the police station. And he's trying to have a 1-to-1 with his son and saying, violence isn't the answer. It's just like, okay, that was probably not the time when you're covered in blood and your knuckles are broken. So yeah, it was nice. Action scenes were good, and it was a couple of funny moments in this as well. But in cinematography and choreography around the action scenes, wow, it's great. The movie looks good. And the director, I think, he knows his way around an action set piece. They're just well staged. A little bit too slapstick, like the thing on the boat. And the end of the movie, yeah, it kind of, obviously, there's probably maybe a bit more in the budget where it goes a bit full on. Just like, let's set a load of traps in the fucking,
It's super Home Alone stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Home Alone with a dose of blood and guts and violence and explosions. But
what about
music-wise?
That's what I was going to ask you with the music, because there's a couple of interesting choices. Obviously, I don't like the last song in the first one because fuck them.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I really enjoyed the music choices in the first one. This one had a little bit more, maybe I don't want to say modern kind of pop music thrown in, but I guess that probably is the best word.
It's a bit kind of hit and miss.
Yeah. There was some parts where I'm like, actually, this is working out. Works pretty well, but then other parts like, no, not for me.
Like there's, even though like we'll get into it in spoilers, but there's a stupid part of the movie where Connie Nielsen is just asked to do something more in the action scene, which makes no sense for her character and being a mother and leaving her family behind. But there's was it 'Cause I'm Your Lady plays out over a slow motion explosion. I'm just like, that's fucking pretty cool.
But that was hilarious. I thought you were going to say that was bad. That was funny, I thought.
That was brilliant.
Yeah.
Even though like everything kind of preceding that was a bit silly, but that moment was class. But then I thought there was an absolutely terrible cover of Ring of Fire. At the start of that last battle, I hated that. It's just absolutely. Like that's just, if you're going to play that, play the original, or it just didn't work at all. Music wise, hit and miss, but like more hits than misses, I guess.
Yeah, like I think I like the first one a little bit more with regards to that stuff. I enjoy those kind of contrasting tunes playing over what you see in the background. Like you see in the first one, My Way, is playing, but in that you see him fucking cutting down people and blowing up stuff, and it's intercut, and it's fantastic. And even the song, which I'm not, You'll Never Walk Alone, being played in that other scene, the first one, even, like it works perfectly for that scene just because of it. Again, I wasn't mad at some of the tunes they picked, but overall, like it was fine. It wasn't stand out in any way. Some soundtracks can really elevate a movie, Whereas this was just meh. It was just really felt like back what it was, background noise. I just wasn't really I wasn't into it at all. But that one, You Were My Lady, Iron Man, whatever it's called,
Yeah.
that was funny.
Yeah. So I guess like before we get into spoilers, then let's give it a star rating. What would you give this one?
Like I'm gonna get in the middle, but 2.5. Maybe 2.5. I think is probably fair because I'd probably give the first one 3.5 to a 4. Like I think that the writing is so poor on this. Like it's so poor. I didn't like the story. I don't like the dialogue. It really, really let it down when you compare it to the first one. It's slick. The characters aren't developed. That side of it is not good at all. Whereas the action stuff is fantastic. These performances, these actors are just so likable. Bob Odenkirk is a fantastic actor and he's great. So is Colin Hanks. Like these are good actors given fuck all to work with. But they're like when it's funny, there are some funny parts in it, and the action choreography, it's enough to keep you entertained throughout. Like it is one I'd probably throw on again if it was on, just because it's only 90 minutes long. You could easily throw it on. You're getting action most of the way through the movie. But yeah, I at the same time, it's the dialogue and writing, which is so important, is poor, really poor for me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think like if I give the first one probably 4, I'd give this probably a 3 because I think it does exactly what it says on the tin, but just not to the same level as the first one. And inexcusably poor writing and kind of character decisions. Yeah, and like some of the performances are, well, Sharon Stone's doing her best, but she is woefully just miscast or just doing, I don't know what she's doing, this and that. That alone would probably drop it down to 2.5, but the fact that I laughed so much at that brings it back up to 3, where it's just like inadvertently humorous role. But yeah, it's one of those where I'd welcome another one to see where they kind of go with this. Although like you knew they had to change it up from the first one this time and try and advance the story, but they didn't kind of advance the story. It's just like, oh, it's like a side quest to a main quest, you know?
Yeah, I did think it was okay how they explained why he's back in the saddle, if you know what I mean. Because obviously the first one, he's retired. He's trying to have that normal life, and he struggles with that. And then, yeah, in the second one, the reason that they use for him back in makes perfect sense. Ties in with the first move, and you're like, actually, okay, yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah, but yeah,
yeah.
It's good. Yeah, I'd give it a 3. I don't think it doesn't disappoint in what most people will go to see it. It's just like a fun romp. It's just the fact that I saw this in the middle of watching the first movie. And yeah, if I hadn't watched the first movie and since it came out, I probably would have enjoyed this a little bit more, but it pales in comparison to that one. So yeah, I guess like 2.5, 3 stars from us. Decent enough watch, does exactly what it says in the tin, but probably wait for it on streaming. So then, yeah, let's get stuck into spoilers. Where do we start with this?
Yeah. Like I guess this that whole how they get their weapons thing. Just I wanted to touch on that. Like, cause we talked, as I said, the first one he works in this fucking manufacturing plant, and so they've got rebars and fucking nails, and he's making like grenades out of like jars and shit and all this because he's a special forces dude, whatever. But in this, like, your John Ortiz is like, oh, I have all this fucking gear here because my dad, he was planning on fighting back against her at some point. I was like, okay, well, why is all the gear? He has his stockpile, so has no one touched all this stuff? Tons. There's grenades, there's all this stuff, but some of this stuff is like, it's like the first Gatling gun ever invented is one of the fucking weapons. He's got a Tommy gun. He's got a Tommy gun and stuff. It's like, how fucking old was your dad? How old is everybody supposed to be in this movie that they're the weapons that he stockpiled?
Tommy gun.
Yeah, he literally has a Tommy gun. And that's only because they wanted to just have a cool shot in slow motion of Bob Odenkirk firing a Tommy gun. And don't get me wrong, it looks cool, but it's just not explained.
Doesn't belong in the movie.
Why has nobody checked in this stock group to say, why is there a shitload of fucking weapons in here?
Somebody definitely said, but wouldn't it be cool if we had like a minigun? But what, one of those rotary ones from back in like, the 1890s? It's just like, what the fuck? Like, my grandfather's really old. Yeah, that was kind of nonsense. That, like, I didn't enjoy that last act as much as I thought. Again, it's just kind of lame writing. It's a bit silliness. They're kind of like, oh, you were going to set up traps and it's not even clever how they get the guys to follow them, the kind of SWAT guys that arrive, because they just all just run out like poor AI enemies in a shooter. It's just like, yeah, they run. And there's moments where they're chasing them, and then Odenkirk like jumps around a corner and then just waits for them and then pulls a string that pulls off or just launches. I'm sorry. But yeah, like there's one part where Hutch just running away from the SWAT guys, and they run down where he's planted some grenades, and he's just like, all right, if I pull this thing, it's going to pull the string of the grenade. And you're just like, why don't you just walk around the corner with the grenade in your hand and just roll it out? Because they're running at you. It's just like all this elaborate kind of stuff, and it's elaborate from the point of, yeah, the A-Team in Home Alone, just like, look, isn't this cool? But when you really kind of think about it, it's just like, this is kind of stupid, kind of silly. It just, yeah, it's all very convenient, and really, there's a couple of explosions where people, blood and all that, but that's good. But
I think exactly on your point that there's a part where John Ortiz is running away and he's placed landmine in the ball pit. Then he jumps in and is able to run through without touching it. And they follow him. The guys who were like special forces, well, not special forces, but they're dudes full on fucking, black tactical gear and everything. They don't just run around the ball pit. They go, well, let's get him. He's going through the ball pit. And they run through a ball pit after him. It's like, you fucking idiots. Which, of course,
it's only about 4 feet wide. Like.
Yeah, it explodes and kills a bunch of them. And do you know what as well was annoying? Connie Nielsen, they haven't really explained how she's this incredible shot. Like, they show her earlier on at one of the arcade games. Or did I miss something where they show her being this crack shot? Because she's there playing an arcade, or the, whatever it's called, fairground game, carnival game. And she's fucking bang, 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 hitting it. And the son goes, geez, no, you're really good. And she's like, am I? Yeah. There's no nod of her looking at Bob Odenkirk and going, remember the way you taught me to do this? Or
how does that translate to being able to fucking hit a dart with your fucking gun in midair?
And that's it. Later on, she's in that lodge. And also, yeah, that's what I want to say, right? They get into this fucking Plummerville that's like what seems to be just this kind of hub highway, basically, for this person to pass all their drugs. And I think at one point there's even a fucking nuclear weapon or something that he has in that chemical weapon
tank,
that they have in the yoke. Yeah. But they've got all this fucking shit. What's it? But they say this for years. This has always been some sort of like bootlegging criminal shit going on, and they know that because when they were younger, Christopher Lloyd had brought the whole family there, so he knows because he's on holiday with them, so he knows there's a load of fucking horrible illegal shit going on now. The minute anything kicked off, he should have been saying to Bob Odenkirk, "Listen, here's the skinny. You got to stay away from the locals. The police are involved." He knows all this, and he lets all this shit happen anyway, and then just kind of comes in at the end. Like his character again was so much better in the first one. When they walk into the retirement home in the first one, and he's just, they kind of sneak up on him, and when he put the gun and he puts his hand up, he opens his eyes, and he pulls out the shotgun. Brilliant.
And
when he walks in, and even the lines, like he has a line when they walk into the plant where he says something like, he's got fucking shotgun over the shoulder, one under his arm. Bob Odenkirk's like, Jesus, you brought enough shotguns. He's like, yeah, well, you brought a lot of Russians. And it's just a throwaway line, and it's funny as fuck, and it's because that's what it is. He's taking on the whole Russian mob. And it's good, and it works, but in this, he's fucking fire in the motherfucking hole or something like that. Just push the plunger. They've already gone past the point where the fucking grenades are supposed to go off. Just push the fucking plunger.
He's a caricature of his own character in this, which is again, it's just the word that just came to mind was just silly all the time. But the whole thing with Connie Nielsen at the end, where the bad guys want to kill the whole family or whatever, so they head off to a little fucking cabin in the woods to sit it out while Odenkirk and fucking they get rid of all the other guys in the theme park. Just reminded me of Madame Web, when she's hiding with the kids in the woods, and then she just fucks off and leaves them in the middle of the night in the woods to fend for themselves. Connie Nielsen with her family there just looks at her son and just says, "You got this?" And he goes, "Yeah, I got this." And then she fucks off with the dart gun and just leaves them in the woods when people are looking to try and kill them. And she's not needed. You're not needed. And she goes off because the plot has to happen.
Quickly, she changes her mind as well, because it starts off, she's in the fucking cabin with them, and he says she's like, she's planning on gonna leave. I have to go and help her. And the son's like, no, what are you fucking talking? We can't leave. We got to stay here and be safe. And then there's a bit of salt, and then she fucking turns around and goes, you got this. And he's like, yeah. It's like, hang on a second. 2 seconds ago, you were very rightly telling her, don't fucking go anywhere. Let's stay here and stay safe.
Which was the correct thing to do. But that's the character arcs and the character development of this changes like in about 2 seconds from just like, no, we can't go anywhere. Actually, I'm going out. Are you okay on your own? What the fuck? The same with her arc of like, what I was saying earlier, that like, she's really pissed off at fucking Hutch and he's not there and all this stuff. And when they go on the family thing on the holiday, she's still, apprehensive. But then suddenly she's just not. And she's just like, you got this. Like, you go fix this fucking mess. And she's just kind of just suddenly just turns into this badass wife.
Yeah, that's it. Because he says to her, doesn't it?
Like,
maybe you just need to get away from. You need to get away from me. Like, I'm the bad news. I tried to be something that I'm not. I've got this dangerous past. I'm a dangerous guy. Blah blah blah. And then she's like, let's say, no, you're my man. Go fix this, or something like that.
Yeah. He's like, who the fuck are you? That was the part I thought was just nonsense. And that's just one of those where someone said, wouldn't it be cool to have, let's get as much of the family in the final battle as possible. You're just waiting for the kids to turn up with fucking grenades. Yeah. It's just like, come on, man.
But it's again, it's the, like you said, somebody thinks X, Y, and Z would look cool. Let's throw it in. But like, it's the premise of how they get to that has to be believable. Like, you've got, say, the Riza shows up, who's, whatever, it must have been Christopher Lloyd's adopted son. The other two of them grew up as brothers. He's in the first one, blah, blah, blah. He's going to he's stayed behind to kind of keep an eye on the people at the house. But what if the main henchman didn't show up with a sword? Like, he's because that's all he has. He has his katana, and the main henchman shows up and has a machete. Most people who turn up to a fight or is a bad guy like this aren't going to have machetes. They're going to have guns. Yeah. He shows up and pulls out a machete, and he pulls out a katana. And there's the speaking over of him talking about the ways of the samurai or some bullshit.
It's just such nonsense.
It's so nonsense, and it's so cringe, and it's just like what? What if they didn't have a sword? Like, it's just, it makes absolutely no sense. But again, it's just because someone thought it's a vehicle to get it there.
It's because the plot needs to happen in a certain way. It's like when there's the final showdown with Sharon Stone, it's just so fucking bad. Like, but that when she turns up, the big bad with her girlies, hench ladies, and Odenkirk is fucked and he's on the ground and stuff, and then they turn up with fucking sticks. Oh, they're gonna hit you with the sticks. Just like, where's your shotgun? Where is it? Like, it's just, it's silly. It's like, the more I talk about this, the more it's the 2.5-star movie. It's really like, because I remember, like, I came out of it and I was driving home kind of going, oh, I think that was a bit of fun with that whole thing of like, it's exactly what it says on the tin. But then when you see the first one again, it's like, no, it was so much better. It's just like so much better, like in terms of context and delivery of dialogue and characters and character arcs. People's characters changed in the first movie. In this, they don't change until somebody goes, there you go, you changed, and they can become completely different characters. The writing is shit.
It is, yeah, so much. But like, I kind of wish I had written down more of the dialogue, but it's poor. Like, it really is. It's a pity, and maybe I think that this will still do well because it's reviewing well enough. People will have enjoyed the first one, especially when it came out in streaming. Anybody who missed it, it did quite well. So, like, if it does well enough, maybe we'll get a third one and hopefully get back to the original director or get the John Wick lads involved. But this was just was not a fan of so much of that writing side of it. But yeah, if you want to go in, just see a bunch of fun explosions and all the rest of it and turn your brain off, recommend it on that front for sure.
Absolutely. And that's our review of Nobody 2.
Good man. Cheers for taking us through that one, Des. All right, to all of you at home, thanks a million for your support. Keep on liking, subscribing, and all that good stuff. We appreciate it. We will see you next week. Look after each other. Good luck. Bye-bye.